I think out of all the Predator movies that's been created, I would rank this as top three, and it's not one or two. I think this is the third best Predator movie, or in this case, the movie is called Prey. I think it's the third best movie out of all of the ones that came out. Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Just My Opinion with yours truly, meaning Just My Opinion with Ryan. And before we go any further, you already see the pop up. Please help your boy get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my first goal. I would truly appreciate it. Just as a fair warning, this video may have a few minor to mid-level spoilers, but we are talking about the movie Prey. This is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. And it stars Amber Midthunder, who's a main character. She plays the Comanche warrior by the name of Naru. And it also stars or co-stars Dakota Beavers, who plays her brother, and the main warrior of the Comanche tribe. In the movie, Dakota Beavers goes by the name of, I want to say, Tabe. I apologize if I mispronounced that. But the movie is about the Predator. This takes place in the 1700s. I love just the plot of this alone. It was very entertaining. I'm a huge fan of the majority of the Predator movies. So this takes place in the 1700s. The Predator lands in the Comanche territory, and he just wants to try his hand and see if he's the ultimate predator in the in this Comanche area. So he's definitely looking at the Comanche tribe as prey. Just anything goes with the Predator. If you've seen previous movies of the Predator, you understand what I mean. So a few things that I did enjoy about this movie. Well, not a few. There was a lot of things I enjoyed about it. As I said earlier, the storyline or the plot, the fact that this is going back in the 1700s, indicating that the Predator has been around that long. Of course, there's multiple Predators. There's not just one. But, I love just that whole storyline of taking place, 300 years ago, 300 or so years ago. I love that part of it. I definitely enjoyed the fact that they used actual indigenous people for this movie instead of whitewashing it. Unfortunately, that still is a common theme. So I'm glad that they didn't whitewash this thing and they used actual indigenous people. And I felt like the fight scenes were well choreographed. Naru definitely got hands, just because she's a female and she doesn't have like an intimidating frame. She doesn't have like these fit arms like Angela Bassett or anything like that. Like, she looks unassuming, and one of the reoccurring themes in this movie, a lot of people don't take her as a threat, so Naru, one of the reoccurring themes of this movie, Naru really wants to become a warrior instead of, or a hunter, instead of being known as, like most of the women in this Comanche tribe. She doesn't want to be a gatherer like most of these women in the tribe. She wants to be known as a warrior. And so instead of gathering with the women and stuff like that, she actually wants to hunt and do warrior things, and so, of course, throughout the movie, here and there, most of the warriors outside of her brother, Tabe, they really look down on her. They're like, why don't you gather? Or, once again, they look at her as a non-threat. They kind of look at her as a joke. So you got that reoccurring theme throughout the movie, of her having to prove people wrong, that she really can hunt. She really got hands, this and the third. And as I said, it was just a great movie. The Predator definitely, comes to, to whoop ass no matter where he goes. Definitely catch a good number of bodies. And this was no different for the Predator. At some point, there's actually, what do you call it? I guess French explorers or people trying to take over the land as well. So there's that theme in it. So the predator, anything the predator sees is trying to take down. So the predator is seeing certain warriors in the Comanche tribe coming across, French explorers or soldiers or whatever, taking them down. So y'all know how it goes. The predator don't discriminate. He's taking names, whooping ass, no matter what. So now that I got all the positives out the way, there was not many, but just a few, very, very few, I guess cons, in my opinion, with this movie. For one, actually, now that I'm thinking about it on the spot, the cons are not as bad as I thought. It's very nitpicky. For one, I guess, one of the things is I thought that the fact that the predator still had some, very advanced technology, even for the 1700s. So I feel like for the predator to have that much type of technology and still, struggle against our main character might have been a little far-fetched. So that was one of it. Like for example, here's one of the minor spoiler alerts. There's at one point the predator knocks out a grizzly bear with one punch. Right? Knocks out a grizzly bear that, the predator just said, you know what, I'm gonna give all my highly advanced technology a break. I'm gonna just give this grizzly bear my hands. Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and put in some handiwork, Mike Tyson punch out. So he literally gives this angry grizzly bear that's charging at him a blazing right hook, knocks the shit out of him, and then decides to pick him up and bathe himself in the grizzly bear's blood. And so I bring that up because I'm like, this is who I'm supposed to believe that Naru is going to eventually take out at some point in the movie. So that part, was kind of wild. In terms of what the 1700 version of the Predator had for weapons, it still has the camouflage effect. So that's still very challenging in itself. It definitely, it also still has the infrared vision, another common characteristic for most predators. And, it definitely has its claws, Wolverine type, except it's two claws going out the knuckles. And, it still has the infrared beam thing, but instead of, shooting out lasers or whatever, it shoots out these very dangerous, darts or arrows killing people. So, that thing is still advanced. It has like a shield that can like cut through damn near anything. So, it's probably one of the most David and Goliath type of climax battles at the end of a movie that you'll ever see. You got all these things in this strong ass predator versus the non-threatening, unassuming Naru. So, but with that said, just to hop back on the pros or the positives, I did feel like even with me saying all that, I do feel like that a lot of the fight scenes were very realistic. And even the final fight scene was not as far-fetched as I initially thought it would be, because you got all those advanced equipment that the Predator has versus Naru, who simply has a tomahawk and a bow and arrow. So you just got to see it to believe it. But it wasn't as far-fetched as I thought when I bring it up like that. And I guess one of the other things that I realized, not only does Naru have hands, but she's very smart as well. So she definitely had to, outsmart the Predator on occasions, or outsmart a number of foes actually. So overall, I definitely enjoyed this movie. And granted, I just saw this over the weekend, but I think out of all the Predator movies that's been created, I would rank this as top 3, and it's not 1 or 2. I think this is the 3rd best Predator movie, or in this case, the movie's called Prey. I think it's the 3rd best movie out of all of the ones that's came out. as it, you know, goes without saying, most times the original is always going to be the best one. So definitely the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura, Action Jackson, all those guys. That's my number one. And number two, you know, fight me or, you know, debate me in the comments. I got to go with the second one with Danny Glover. I felt like that was still pretty good. And then right after that one, I got to go with Prey. I think Prey is the third best one. You know, and for what it's worth, the fourth best, with all that being said, or I guess you could say honorable mention, is the one with Adrian Brody. I did like that one as well, but I'll put that as fourth behind the other three I just named. I really thought Dan Trench, I thought the director really did his thing with this movie. You know, maybe I'm being over eager or just overly positive. I hope that they make more similar to this. I would love to see someone make a version of the Predator, invading a tribe in Africa, seeing how that goes. I'd love to see a Predator going back in time, going against, you know, like the samurais or something like that. You know, hell, I'll even take the Predator going against the Bronx or some shit. You know, featuring Fat Joe. But I thought this was a dope movie. You know, I don't do this often, but I would probably give like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I thought it was real dope. Highly recommend it. If you stayed this far in the video, I hope, and you didn't see the movie, which I did give you spoiler alert, I hope it doesn't turn you off from seeing the movie, because it is a great movie. Top 3 out of all the Predators, and love it or hate it, folks. These are just my opinions. Peace.